Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, the end of our work week, and I'm excited to continue with our learning with math this week. We've been working with coordinate grids and plotting points, and yesterday we were connecting those points, and today we're going to continue doing that, and we're going to use a ratio table, which is basically that input-output table that we saw also yesterday, to continue to plot points on a coordinate grid. So that's what we'll be doing. Hopefully you also had experience with the Brain Pop game. If you haven't done that yet, I recommend doing that today. It's pretty fun and it's very relevant to what we're learning right now. All right. Good morning to everybody that is watching. Just simple reminders to use that chat box, take notes if you'd like. And our objective today is to use a ratio table to plot points on a coordinate grid. Good morning, Michael. All right, I'm going to get right into it to get started because I think you guys have got this, and I think that, good morning, Bella, I don't think you'll need a whole lot of support today, which will be great. All right, so I'm also going to see if I could turn me off because I feel like I'm in the way. Give me 1 second. Let me go back to this. Good morning, Juan. Okay, well, I guess you're just stuck with my face in the middle of it. Sorry, I'll figure it out eventually. Okay, so I wanted to point out that we've been using input-output tables for a while. Even last year in 4th grade when I was teaching you guys, I used them too, where I would put in a number and then something would happen. There'd be some kind of rule, and then out would come up this other number. So sometimes it was like, oh, you're going to add 2 to all of them. So then the output would be adding 2. I put in a number, add 2, out comes this number. Or maybe it was multiplying. I put in a number, like I put the number 2 inside, multiply it by 2, out comes a 4. And then everything is done that same way. So an input-output table is the same thing as a ratio table. In middle school, high school, you'll have a lot of those to work with, and they're going to connect more with these coordinate grids. Good morning, Jocelyn. So I just want to make sure that we're used to using these ratio tables because we've used them in the past and now we're just using them as a way to grid and graph our points. So looking at this one's already done. And so what happens is that input-output table is known as the X and the Y coordinates. So the X column, the Y column. So yesterday that's exactly what we did. And we even connected the dots. So the example on the screen, I know my face is covering the origin and some of the numbers, but what's happening is that those things on the grid, so 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, are plotted on this grid. And so if I'm looking at it just to confirm it, I'm going to look at the first dot that is just right here. And so that spot is 1, 2. So when I'm looking at the ratio table, it's that first point that's on that chart, right? 1 and the 2. The X always goes first, the Y is second, horizontal is always first, then the vertical second, all right? That second point would be 2, 3. So looking at my grid, it's over 2, up 3, then 3, 4, so over 3, up 4, and then the last one, over 4, up 5. And you'll notice that when those are connected, it did end up making a straight line, which means there is a pattern happening. When I look at the chart, the pattern is it's just going in order, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you see those kinds of things, when you see them in order, you'll notice that the line ends up being straight when there is a consistent pattern happening. Good morning, Emily. Good morning, Jaden and Brian. All right, so this is just for you to know what it looks like. So I'm going to just read the directions really quick. It says ratio tables can be used to list out multiple points on a graph. These are then connected with a line. Draw a dot on the graph for each of these coordinates, then connect the coordinates. So this one is done for you because I wanted you to see the example and what it looks like. So if you're given those directions, that's what it's asking for. I will say that yesterday's ticket out the door went really, really, really well. The only thing I would recommend that I had about 5 students forget to connect the dots. And so when I say connect them, this is what I mean. Some people connected them a little differently, like drawing boxes and things, and so that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for just connecting the one dot to the next dot to the next dot. And in this case, it's a straight line all the way up. okay? All right, let me go to the next one. So now this is where we're going to practice, all right? So if I'm looking at this chart, my ratio table, it has a set of numbers. You'll notice there is a pattern happening with the y's. What do you notice about the y's in the ratio table? What do you guys notice? I know the x goes in order, 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything special about the y? It goes 4, 6, 8, 10. It's increasing by 2 each time. So we're going to actually plot this, and I'm going to do this on the tablet to show you, and then you'll do this on your Pear Deck when you're ready. So I know I'm covering part of it, so I'm going to try my best to make sure I'm paying attention if you can see the dots or not. So if I go 1, 4 is what I'm looking for. So I go over 1, up 4, and then I'm going to make my dot. Yeah, you can see it. Okay, that's the first point. I could even label it 1, 4, just to confirm that that's what that is. The second one would be what? 2, 6. Good morning, Layla, all the way from where you're at. And thank you for those who chimed in with the responses. Good morning, Emily. I'm glad you're here. All right, sorry, distracted by my friends. All right, 2, 6 is the next one. So I go over 2, up 6. I'm going to label that 2, 6. Then I do 3, 8, so over 3, up 8. And I'll label that as well. You'll notice that they should look like, if I'm going to connect them at the end, they should look like straight in a row. If they're not straight, then that means you didn't put it in the right spot. I'm just being honest. The next one would be 4, 10, so over 4, up 10. And they look nice and in a straight line. Now with the drawing tool, that was a weird parentheses. Sorry, it was going to bug me. You should have that line tool in the drawing slides, so I recommend using it. I don't have the ability to do that with this, so I need to make sure I try my best to, oh, see, I already messed up. I'm going to try my best to connect these. It's really challenging with technology, though, to make straight lines like this for me. Ta-da! That's the best I can do, but I recommend you using that straight line tool that you have, okay? You will be doing this, Emily, in your Chromebooks and Pear Deck soon, okay? You can just watch for now. In this case, it's just going to connect those dots. You might see sometimes that lines continue because they do technically continue. And then you'll even see, like in middle school is what I'm referring to more, you'll even see like little arrow ends, which means those lines continue on forever in both directions. So you could make a prediction, technically. What would the next number be? So for example, 5. If I had more numbers going, because you'll notice that there's also arrows on my x-axis and the y-axis, right here, I'm going to circle them. There's arrows because those continue forever too. So if I wanted to know what number 6 would be on the x-axis, and I would go up and I would just figure out where would it cross that line, I could make a prediction because in this situation, it's a predictable pattern. It's increasing by 2 each time, which means my line is straight, and I would be able to know exactly where the next point would be without even having that grid now that we have the points plotted. Okay, so there's a lot that's going to happen with this, and this is just for now in 5th grade, is just meant to be a preview, a little bit of exposure. You're going to get a ton of this in middle school. Okay, all right, so yay, Jaden! This specifically, I used to be an avid tutor in high school way back in the day. And that was one of the things that I would support the avid students. I know I was a high school student supporting high school students, but I was helping high school students with this exact topic. And so I'm just sharing this with you because I think that it's important to know that this is not going to be just something you learn and then, oh, I don't need that anymore. You're going to see it again and again and again, okay? So practice this. This is pretty much very basic. You got your ratio table, you plot the points, and that's pretty much what the rest of the slides, there's not a lot of slides today. If I show you the next one, it's a little bit more practice. This one will be interesting. Look at all the X's are 2's. You'll notice something interesting about the graph with that. On this one, all the Y's are the same number. So you'll see something special that happens with that. And finally, ticket out the door with just a few points. Make sure that ticket out the door is connected, that you make sure you connect those lines, those dots. Okay? That's it. That's all you're doing for math today. Because I feel like we're getting this. Next week, too, I think that you'll enjoy the Pear Decks that we do, because next week's Pear Decks will have more like creativity from you guys and making graphs and things. So I'm excited about that. Oh, sorry. Okay. All right, so I hope that this is clear. I hope that this makes sense for you. If you are still, oh boy, there goes that on my face, right? If you're still needing some support, you know what to do. Using that Flipgrid, or just ask me in classroom, get rid of that. But I think you guys, you have this. When we get back for reading today, we're going to be answering some questions about the text we've been reading. Thank you so much for those who did their responses in Google Classroom. I have graded them, and I have sent them back to you so you can take a look at those. And so I'm excited to see you guys back for a reading lesson. Just want to check my chat box to see if there's any other questions. Okay. And for reading, I have not posted the questions yet, so just hold tight for that. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how you do on your Flipgrid, Pear Deck for math, and then I will see you back for reading at 11. Have a great morning, everybody. I'm going to go enjoy my coffee now. Bye.